Hello there guys, and welcome back on our channel. Today I'm gonna talk about a new expectation for our favorite train simulator game with the possibility of seeing another UK route, a brand new one for this simulator. This DLC is coming with a brand new class of locomotives. For example, is nothing sure, but for example one of them is class 50 belonging to the British Rail. Being one of the most wanted idea on our contest, it definitely deserves my attention and your attention as well. It was built between 1967 to 1968. 50 such diesel engines were built by English Electric Company. In order to produce a locomotive quickly as per British Transport Commission requirements, English Electric based their design on that for their Deltic locos, which were then in production. Unlike this design was powered by a single engine, the 16 CSVT. Other parts related to another current design like class 37 were also used, and the result was DP2, a 20,700 horsepower diesel electric locomotive with a top speed of 100 miles per hour. However, before the prototype could be finished, English Electric's design was rejected by the BTC for some technical reasons. By the time DP2 design earned a reprieve in 1965, when the National Traction Plan identified the need for an additional 50 Type 4 locomotives, even more because Class 47 fleet was starting to suffer serious problems. Later on, English Electric indeed to build a new batch as similar to DP2 as possible, but the successor of BTC, and I mean British Rail Board, had produced a standard locomotive cab with a flat front and had code box, and also has specific requirements relating to the engine room and other equipment. Many designs was produced by English Electric, but the standard front end was adopted for the Class 50. Initially were on a 10 years lease from English Electric Leasing and were employed hauling express passenger trains on non-electrified sections of the West Coast Main Line between Grave and Scotland. Initially numbered with D400 to D449 and known as English Electric Type 4S, these locomotives were purchased outright by British Rail at the end of the lease and became Class 50 in 1973. This class were also nicknamed by the rail enthusiasts Hoovers because of the distinctive sound made by the dynamic braking resistors cooling fan arrangement. Once the electrification from Greve to Glasgow was finished, the locomotives were moved to Great Western Main Line out of Paddington to allow the retirement of the remaining diesel hydraulic locos then in use. Since 1976, when the trains on Great Western Main Line did steadily high-speed operations, the Class 50 moved to hauling trains between London Waterloo and Exeter City Davis, and many more locations. The class was steadily retired from service in the late of 80s and early of 90s, as their services moved to operation by second generation DMUs designed as Class 159. During the year 1977, British Rail introduced Intercity 125, and in the same time Class 50 was plagued with reliability problems which resulted in frequent service failures and cancellations. As a result, the decision was taken in the late 1970s to refurbish the entire fleet. Between 1979 and 1984, this program was started. The work involved simplifying the complex electronics and removing redundant features. The air intake fan arrangement was modified and a couple more stuffs. Externally, the locomotives received high-intensity headlights that changed the appearance of the front as well. After that, the class were again used for Western Region services out of Paddington, and at the end of the 90s, the reliability of the fleet became a problem again and have been replaced by the 47s, which in turn have been replaced by the 165 and 166 DMU series. By 1992, only 8 locomotives remained in service. Several of these were specially repainted to commemorate the rundown of the fleet renumbered at D400 series. Of the final of 8 locomotives, 3 were retained until 1994 for use on special rail tours, this being 4007 named Sir Edward Elgar, 433 named Glorious, and the first built one 450 named Fearless. The last rail tour of 533, it was during the March 1994. After that it was delivered for the preservation at the National Railway Museum. The other 2 of them were preserved as well, but a couple of them are still running nowadays on the UK routes. This locomotive has a very interesting history. I was really happy to share it with you, to learning about it, but before I will end I have a big announcement to make. A major railway event is about to start up in New York in the UK. If you want to know more details about this, please visit Laser GT channel. I will put the link in the description. A known YouTuber, and if you don't know him so far, you have the chance to show your support for his channel, and also don't forget to show your support for this channel as well. Thank you very much guys, and see you on the next video.
Fearless.